Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the IHI Call Days, calls 4 and 5. My name is Sergio, and I will be moderating today's session about sustainable circular development and manufacturing of healthcare products under quantitative environmental impact assessment. Today, I would like to first do an important disclaimer, which is that please be aware that the call topics are still under consultation with the state representatives group and the science and innovation panel. All information regarding future IHI call topics is indicative and subject to change until call launch. You will find the final authorized version of the topic text on the Funding and Tenders portal. Before we start, we are recording this session and it will be published on the IHI website and B2Match platform. We will also publish the presentation slides. If you want to ask questions, please use the chat box that it's found on the corner of your window. And without further ado, I will introduce you Elisabetta Baudano, who is the principal scientific officer at IHI. Elisabetta, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. And so, first of all, what I would like to say what will be covered by today's session and what will not be covered. So we will give you a little bit of an introduction to the Innovative Health Initiative program, IHI program. Then there will be the presentation made by Christian on the topic per se, so really the meat of this webinar. And then I will give you a little information on the proposal submission and evaluation and a few tips for writing a successful proposal. We will not cover anything about rule or procedure because we have a specific webinar that you can attend, and they are also recorded, and the information is available on the IHI website. So first of all, for those that are not familiar with the Innovative Health Initiative, let's simply to give you a very simple and short explanation. So the Innovative Health Initiative is the European new partnership of health that has been created under the umbrella of the Horizon Europe, of which we are part, between, on one side, the European Union, represented by the European Commission. So the funding comes from the Horizon Europe program. And then on the other side, the Healthcare Industry Association, that are the COSIR, the Medical Imaging, Radiotherapy, Health, ICT, and Electromedical Industry Association, the EFPIA organization, including Vaccine Europe with pharmaceutical and vaccine industries, Europa Bio, that is the umbrella organization for the biotechnology industry, and MedTech Europe, that is the Medical Technology Industries Association. So what is IHI general objective that are given to us by the legislator are very ambitious objective indeed, because it's really to turn what is health research and innovation into real benefit for patient and society. In Europe, we are very good in research, but we are not so good to then transform and move this nice lab research, let's say, into the real world and real benefit for patient and society. And this should be also really aimed to be the way to then eventually deliver safe, effective health innovation that can cover the entire spectrum of care, from prevention to diagnosis and treatment, particularly in areas where there is an unmet public health need. And also, last but not least, another important general objective is to make Europe's health industry globally competitive. So the objective of IHI, which is a general objective, but also the specific objective of IHR, are detailed in our strategic research innovation agenda. You have the link here, and the focus really of what is explained in the agenda is that really for cross-sectorial approaches that are needed to facilitate the creation of new products and services for prevent, intercept, diagnose, treat and manage diseases, and foster recovery more efficiently, and also really to make a better healthcare system, as we are now for this topic that are presented today. And the goal really is to lay the foundation for development of safer and more effective healthcare product and solution that respond to unmet public health needs and then can be implemented into healthcare system. And so of what is very important is also that the scope of the IHI Research and Innovation Action is to stay in the pre-competitive level, really to get all together to work on the important challenge and then create something that can help the innovator eventually to move their innovation faster and better to the market. So the topic as is presented today, and a topic that is then going to be part of a call that is a so-called two-stage call. So how does this work for those that are not familiar with this, because this was a model that we use a lot in IMI, the predecessor to IHI. So in this case, we now will launch a call for proposal where this topic will be published. And you will see that is a pretty detail and topic text, as you see already the draft on our website, and then a consortia of applicants, which will be the one that will be paid, that will receive the GU funding, are invited to try to answer as good as possible in their proposal to the topic. Then all the proposals that will be received by the deadline and found eligible will go for evaluation by a panel of independent experts that, using the specific evaluation criteria, will do a ranking, and the first ranked, the one that they consider the best, will be invited to join the Perform Industry Consortium to write a full proposal. This proposal, that will be the sum of the expertise, of the vision that is presented at the first stage with the vision that is presented in the topic by the industry consortium, will be then go for another peer review by evaluator that normally are those as much as possible that were also the same evaluator at the first stage, and will go for a go, no-go decision. If everything goes well, and it is a go, then the IHI office will be able to start the final preparation of the contract that will end with the signature of the grant agreement. And of course, also there will be a preparation of a consortium agreement that also importantly need to be ready for the project to start. And then people will start working. And now I leave the floor to Christian.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and I'm very happy to present this exciting topic today. Thank you very much for the invitation and for the chance to present this here. Next slide, please. So when we talk about sustainable manufacturing and the challenges related to or what the challenges are in current industries, then it should be mentioned that pharmaceutical industries generate about 4.4% of global carbon dioxide. And this is mainly due to that many manufacturing processes are not optimized, are very traditional and not optimized for reducing environmental impact. So just to name a few examples, the water energy consumption of traditional processes, even of current processes, is still very high. In many cases, due to cost pressures, old equipment is used, and the traditional way of manufacturing in batches rather than continuous manufacturing is, I would say, the predominant way of working in industry still. A second point is that is relevant to this project and that was considered very critical across different industry stakeholders, is that there is no harmonized measure in place to quantify the impact of manufacturing processes on the environment between different companies, between different sectors, but also between different products. So there is a strong desire to harmonize this assessment methodology, and this should also be part of the idea or part of the challenge. Why is there such a strong, I would say, a hurdle in changing processes? This is not only due to some resistance in spending money on new process equipment. This is it's also the long regulatory cycle times that are required to validate new processes, to find new supply chain sources, etc. So there is a whole bunch of reasons why processes cannot be simply changed from one to the next moment. Next slide, please. Why is there a need for a public-private initiative to improve the situation? We believe that Europe is a strong, has a very strong research and innovation capacity, and this is due to, I would say, a very good network of universities, academic research institutes, but also small and medium enterprises in Europe. In parallel, there is a strong presence of pharmaceutical industry with very strong research and development facilities in Europe, and there is also quite a long history of collaborations on various fields between both partners, and I think this is a great opportunity to collaborate in terms of how can both parties work together in a innovative and complementary manner. So to generate innovation, I think it's one of the strengths of pharmaceutical industries to have a good overview of supply chains, of the current good manufacturing practices, but also on quality aspects and both environmental and occupational safety aspects. Yeah, and due to their close interaction with regulatory authorities, they are aware of the latest regulations that are relevant for the industry. The academic research can bring in cutting-edge new technology, new innovations, the latest research results. They are, I would say, the first ones to use new materials that are on the market, to test new ideas in terms of new materials, new manufacturing methodologies, but also are the I would say the melting pot of new science and technology. And in this environment, both parties can create really innovative new technologies that are relevant for the very complex pharmaceutical industry. Next slide, please. So the scope of this topic is twofold. As I mentioned before, we would like to focus first on a technical scope, which is very strongly related to manufacturing, both synthetic molecules, but also of biotechnology manufacturing, of protein drugs, vaccines, mRNA drugs, but also synthetic molecules that could be protein, small molecule conjugates, but also any kinds of tides like peptides, oligotides, etc. but also small classical small molecules based drugs that could be relevant here. And if you look at the bottom line, here we have, I would say, the most relevant challenges in this field. How can we replace substances of very high concern in stoichiometric reactions? How can we reduce water as solvent, etc.? And depicted on the left and right hand side, you would see what are approaches or technologies that could improve the whole technology in industry. There are mentioned a couple of ideas like replacing stoichiometric reactions by catalysis or cascade reactions in order to reduce water volumes and water for cleaning processes. Next slide, please. The second aspect is the quantification or the quantitative assessment of what is the impact of new processing technology and innovations on the overall life cycle of a drug product or of a end user drug. Yeah, and here we would go for the life cycle assessment methodology to compare existing manufacturing processes with innovative process designs where the environmental impact and the overall impact, starting from raw material generation, material supplies over the product manufacturing to the user, will be assessed in a way that it's comparable between a traditional and an innovative process. Yeah, and this methodology is implemented in many companies, but is as yet not fully harmonized in a way that everyone would generate the same results based on very different databases, data sources, etc., and also assumptions that are taken into account to generate the life cycle assessment. And here there is a strong need to harmonize the LCA methodology across the industry and to make processes, products comparable, and to generate a database and a common language, common methodology across the sector and even beyond this sector. Next slide, please. So what do we expect finally as outcomes of this initiative? We would expect innovations, of course, in chemical biotechnology synthesis. Yeah, there have been quite a few initiatives been out there before this project idea. So I would say the classical green chemistry approaches have led to a good panel of innovations already. Many companies have implemented ideas of sustainable and improved continuous manufacturing processes, but I think there is still quite a lot of room for improvement. Yeah. But we will not only focus on the classical green chemistry approaches, we would like to widen our scope. We think that in the classical production of APIs, biologic APIs, in fermentation and downstream processing, and also purification unit operations, there is still also a great opportunity to improve. Yeah? Not only in terms of the equipment, but also in terms of the materials used, the techniques used. Just to give you an example, like chromatography. Chromatography is something that is used classically to purify proteins, but the idea is maybe to replace chromatography steps by completely different or innovative methods to purify products in the end. But also material supplies is an important point. So we would like to go for materials, starting materials, chemicals from renewable sources rather than oil-based sources. And also one side activity is to look into how do we generate pure waters, highly pure waters for injection, steam, and other utilities that are relevant for the manufacturing processes. We would like to make a big step into an harmonization of the life cycle assessment methodology across the industry. Here we would like to base our approach on existing ideas and to validate those methodologies with studies with use cases in the project from industry or from the academic world to see how innovations have an impact on the overall life cycle assessment of a product. In the end, we would like to also create guidance how to make processes greener, less impactful for the environment, and how this can be quantified in a comparable and harmonized way. Next slide, please. As already mentioned, we are not alone in this activity. In the previous IMI, there have been a few projects out that have already focused on innovative chemistry, green chemistry projects. But in parallel to this topic, we've developed a further downstream second topic, which is called Safe and Sustainable by Design, Packaging and Single-Use Device Solutions. So this is the more, I would say, downstream process-oriented project that would overlap with this topic in a small proportion, but will more or less complement the ideas that we have. And the idea is to strongly work together with a team of topic 5 to complement also our ideas and our results with the results of drug product manufacturing and packaging. In parallel, there are also HE projects out there which are depicted here, and these 5 there is a bit of overlap in the topics of these 5 projects, and as we should combine our efforts to increase the benefit for the European healthcare sector and the European academic world, we would strongly exchange with these projects to not duplicate any work, but to learn from each other and to generate a better value for everybody. Next slide, please. So what is the impact we expect? So we would like to improve Europe as a science and innovation hub. Yeah. As I said, there is a strong academic research community in Europe, and which we can utilize to improve the position and the knowledge in pharmaceutical manufacturing development. And this is, I think, a great opportunity to strengthen this position. We would like to prepare pharmaceutical industry in Europe to generate ideas and to extend the toolbox for development scientists to make new products greener, to make new manufacturing processes less impactful and innovative, not only in terms of environmental impact, but also in terms of flexibility and independency of supply chains, global supply chains, which are less dependent on raw materials that are not renewable. Next slide, please. So, in order to complement the ideas that were generated by the industry partners in this two-stage call, we would expect from an interested academic consortium to bring in innovative knowledge or innovative technology on synthesis, on fermentation, downstream processing. So, as lined out in the call topic text, we would go for very innovative technologies here. So this is, I think, the core of this whole project. Yeah, we would like to improve not only the chemistry and the biotechnology. We would also like to improve process technology, equipments, chromatography, purification, but also but all in all with the overall scope to reduce any waste, to reduce the use and the waste of solvents, the energy consumption, and to reduce also the number of stoichiometric reactions and replace them by reactions that can that use only minimal amounts of other chemicals. Of course, as usual in IMI and IHI projects, we would ask for the administrative role to manage the grants of this project and also the overall project management. We do see our role as partners in disseminating the results of the whole project, to make them public, to make them broadly available to the community, and to share our results immediately as they have been finalized and generated. We would also generate a new life cycle assessment methodology, which can be adopted by all partners and can be even utilized and advertised beyond the borders of Europe and beyond the companies and beyond also the sector. So this could also be relevant for other sectors. We would like to create a new tool that allows development scientists to plan new manufacturing processes based on databases and data that are already available, with innovative means of artificial intelligence, machine learning supported design tools that can support people in generating or in improving their processes with the aim of a better environmental impact. Next slide, please. So in that sense, what the industry would contribute to this consortium is, as I mentioned already in one of the first slides, is their broad drug development expertise in terms of supply chains, but also in terms of technology, how to scale up new processes, how to design new processes, to have the knowledge about occupational safety, drug safety, but also environmental impact and environmental safety of manufacturing processes. Pharmaceutical industry, of course, do a lot of chemistry, do a lot of biotechnology. They have a lot of broad instrumentation in place, many equipment tools in place to implement new technology, and they also do have the CMC expertise of chemistry, manufacturing, and control that is relevant to design new manufacturing processes and meet the needs of the regulatory authorities. In terms of LCA expertise, this is quite a relevant point that we can bring in. So industry has a good expertise in creating life cycle assessments across their product portfolios, and here we can bring in a broad knowledge and a broad database that could be relevant for generating harmonized methodology. Next slide, please. The intended budget, or the indicative budget for the project, will be up to 40 million euros, from which the indicative in-kind from the industry partners is expected to be up to 20 million euros. Next slide, please. As the development cycle times and improvements take quite a long while, and we think that innovations of this scale will require the collaboration of academic laboratories and development departments in industry. We believe that this will take quite a while, and in comparable projects, or from comparable projects, we do think that 60 to 72 months is a reasonable time frame to have impactful new innovations and have them and get them into a broad selection of innovations. Next slide, please.
Okay, so thank you very much, Christian. And now I will take over for the more, let's say, instruction and advice to potential applicant when preparing the proposal and submission, to get to their submission and then the evaluation. So first of all, it's very important that everybody is pay attention on the proposal template. That is the one that has to be used for your application. So remember, you have to use the proposal template for your application, and also be aware that there are different parts of this proposal template. That there is a part A, that is the one where you have to fill all your administrative data. And this is done by web forms that are available through the funding and tender portal. And then there is the part D of the proposal. That is really the meat of your proposal, is the narrative part, where you will present your fantastic idea and proposal for addressing this topic. And be aware that there is a very clear structure expected in a proposal based on the 3 sections: excellence, impact, and quality and efficiency of the implementation. And it's very important that you read the instructions that are available into the proposal template very carefully in order to prepare a proposal that is complete and include all the relevant elements as indicated in this instruction. And then, of course, remember there are also some annexes, for example, the participant type of annex. So once you have managed to submit by deadline, of course, your proposal, and this has been found eligible, then the proposal will be evaluated by a panel of independent experts, who will use specific criteria. The first criteria is the excellence, where the expert will look at the clarity and pertinence of the project proposed objective in comparison of the what is written in the topic text. So very important, the expert will use as a Bible the topic text. So and nothing else. So please also, once you prepare your proposal, go back and read carefully the topic text to ensure that you are really in line with this. And then, of course, they will look also at the extent to which the proposed work is ambitious. This is a really ambitious topic, so I think there is a lot of space to be ambitious and going beyond state of the art. But on the other end, the expert will also look at the soundness of the proposed methodology. It is feasible, it is reasonable, it is what the applicant are proposing and are demonstrating that indeed they are applying methodologies that are fit for purpose. Then second criteria is that of impact, and there the expert will look at the credibility of the pathway to achieve the expected outcome and impact specified in the topic text, and the likely scale and significance of the contribution due to the project. So what does it mean, this? Because all this sentence can become a bit complex. So what is the pathway? So the project will develop some results. This result should reach the necessary stakeholders, the end users, that will have to be able to use this result then really to go further in order to the topic to deliver its outcome. So for doing this, the applicant, using, for example, their dissemination plan and their activities, they have to demonstrate to be able to have a good idea on the pathway that has to be followed to get there. And clearly also it is important that they demonstrate that they will do it in a way that it will be really significant. We are talking an IHI project, so we really look at scale to have really a systemic effect, let's say, of the results. The third criterion is that of quality and efficiency of the implementation. And here the expert will look at the quality thicknesses of the outline of the work plan that will be included in your proposals, and of course the capacity of each participant and extent to which the consortium as a whole bring together the necessary expertise. So two little word of in it here is, of course, that it's very important that the expert have an idea that not only the applicant have a very fantastic idea, they have good methods, but they also have an idea how to implement their idea so that they will get really to the results. And then, of course, it is important that, first of all, the applicant have clear the fact that they are presenting also half of the consortium, and the whole consortium will be prepared and will get when also they will get together with the industry. So they have to really to think about, read carefully what also the industry is already proposing that they will be contributing in the topic text, which is included, and then see how they can really contribute all the expertise and assets that are indicating the topic text, and then they can really complement what the industry bringing to the table to then get to the final consortium and then develop and deliver the best possible project. So of course there need to be complementarity, and there must not be also redundancy, also to optimize the use of the available public funding. So a few very simple tips. First of all, it is very important that you read all the relevant material, especially the topic text, but also refer please also to other material that is present on our website. Try to understand IHI and all the different also financial rules, etc. Remember that this is a thing that need times. So be in time, form your consortium as early as possible, and don't be a last minute, because it is difficult then to get a good proposal together. And as I always think, public-private partnership, because really you are proposing now something that will have to be bring together with the per constituent industry consortium to then create this successful public-private partnership. And please also ensure that all information requested in the call text and proposal template is provided to allow the evaluation expert to easily assess your proposal against the evaluation criteria. So I think it's very important that you formulate your proposal as clear as possible. And also consider what is come after your project, and also try to plan this in your activity. For example, the potential regulatory impact of the results, and the fact of what, for example, Christian said, it takes so much time then to get in place. So let's try to think so that is already something that per design is considered in the proposal and then in the project. Of course, what is very important for you is finding the right project partners, and because you need to build a consortium, or you would like maybe to join a consortium, and you would like to, and you think you have excellent expertise that you would like to bring on the table. So first of all, network with your contacts, network to the participant to the IHI Call Day today, and use, of course, the EU funding and tender portal, partner search tool. Get in touch with your national contact point, the IHI specific contact point, network on social media like Twitter, LinkedIn, and or you find also more detailed information on the IHI website at the link that are in this page. Of course, we also provided the B2Match platform for you to network, and here is a very easy tool that you can use to book meetings. And so first of all, you have to make yourself available for the meetings. Then you have to look for partner on the participant organization tab. Then of course you have to select date, time, and the maximum number of attendees, that can be 8 for this meeting, and add a message. And then you have to send the message and wait for the reply. It's very simple, and there is a step-by-step guide on how to book a meeting on our website at this link. And now it's question time. So this is your opportunity if you want to ask a question directly to us or to the topic writer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elisabetta. Indeed, now is the time for you to ask questions on the chat box. So please use this opportunity and ask questions. And then I would also like to remind you, as Elisabetta said, just be an early bird and start planning ahead. Go to your marketplace and fill it in. There you can actually publish all the opportunities that you think you can actually, create a new consortium, a project cooperation, whatever. Just go there and find your partner. There's 17 opportunities on these call topics: sustainable circular development and manufacturing of healthcare products. Some of them can be like project management and dissemination, expertise in human-machine interaction, microfluidic setups, implant and local drug delivery. So many interesting ideas in the marketplace. So go there and put your project ideas. First question that we got is, which is the difference between the applicant consortium and the pre-identified industry consortium that arises in the second stage? Elisabetta, would you like to take this? So the question is, which is the difference between the applicant consortium and the pre-identified industry consortium that arises in the second stage?
So first of all, it will not arise in the second stage. What we have is that the pre-identified industry consortium is already there. It is the companies that are behind the topic text that has been presented today by Christian. The only thing is that at the moment, since we are still in consultation, this information is confidential, but this company are already worked with a long time to develop this topic text. And so they are really waiting for the first step of the evaluation of the 2-stage. So the first stage to deliver the best ranked proposal that then they will work together to prepare the full proposal. So the industry consortium is already there. Now what you are invited to is to contribute by submitting this with the preparation of a proposal by a team of entities that can be academia, they can be all the other entities that have been already highlighted in the presentation, which will be the one that will be the beneficiary of the GU funding. Okay, the pre-industry consortium, they will come with their own resources, so they will add this 20 million of resources to the 20 million of resources paid by the GU funding. And so what you need to prepare now is a proposal that will consume this available budget of 20 million of GU funding. And in order then to to collaborate and really to be complementary and then merge together with the contribution of the industry consortium and create the full proposal that will be then evaluated at stage 2. So now we are looking at finding the best possible single stage proposal, and then there will be the second step where there will be the merger with the industry consortium that is already there, ready for you.
Thank you so much, Elisabetta, for such a thorough response. And now we go with a question to Christian. So thank you for the overview. Can you please elaborate on what is expected in terms of engagement with the patient community and society at large, the ultimate beneficiaries of these innovations?
So we considered a lot about the whole process of drug delivery in creating this consort or this proposal. But I would say this project is very strongly related or focused on manufacturing rather than patient interaction. We do see in the project overall a general benefit, of course, for society in Europe, due to due to improved environmental categories or waste categories like CO2 generation, energy consumption, etc. But we do not, in the project, we have no direct interaction with patient organizations, as there is no impact on final products. We more or less focus on manufacturing technologies down to, I would say, the drug substance or combinations of drug products.
Thank you so much, Christian. So please keep asking questions in the chat. I will take this chance to promote, well, we are actually over with the call for topics. Today was the last day for this call 4, and now we are starting with call 5. So next week we will start with the IHI rules and procedures on Monday at 3. So if you haven't done so, I really encourage you to sign up for this webinar. And then we have 4 amazing topics: non-animal approaches for health technology, therapeutic solutions, stroke management, and synthetic data generation. On Thursday, we have the financial part of the proposal. So go ahead and please join. And there you will learn important information as to how to present a sound financial proposal. I don't think we have any other questions on the chat, so I think we can finalize this info session here. And I would like to really thank both Christian and Elisabetta for being here with us and explaining us this topic. So thank you very much, and well, have a nice afternoon.